Hello Flosstube, it's Dawn. My channel name is Frosty XStitch. Usually I'm a cross-stitch channel where I talk about my cross-stitch and a lot about my life or the non-existing part of it or what's not right at work or whatever. I've got quite a few new subscribers that I think came over to see what the whole frack idea is. If you're interested in that, there is a link. I've put a playlist of all of my floss tubes on this channel, and you can go and you will see, because it has the name frack in it, so you can see which floss tube that is. And then I only talk about frack. So frack would be Flosstube random act of kindness. So that's when Flosstubers give out a random act of kindness. I haven't heard of people doing it yet as in such, but maybe it's already happening, just not under that name. I'm going to start in January because at the moment I really don't have the time or the energy. The last floss tube I made, it was quite a while until I came back on, and it felt good to make a floss tube, but then to set it all up, get the stuff, I mean it was about 2 months worth. I had to go through every room, collect everything that I wanted to show, get it all together, then sit down and notice that due to the update I did on my MacBook, my external camera webcam does not work anymore, and the microphone on my MacBook is not good enough. It took me 1.5 hours to try and fix it. I was sure there would be a workaround, there would be a possibility, there was not. So I got out my laptop that always worked, always has worked. This is what I'm filming on now, with my external camera on top. Yes, I tested, the sound should be there. If it's not, I'm definitely going to give up filming, because the microphone is really good. The microphone of this thing is no, you can't use it. The camera is no good. It's pretty old. My webcam would be able to do HD, but because I use Windows 7, it just decided not to. So that's why you get poor quality but better quality sound. So I hope that's okay, specifically now for this. I'll call it a floss tube. It's not really a floss tube. The only floss tube part that you'll get is I'm wearing this lovely knitted hat in, I don't know if you can see it, the beautiful colours that this has in it. And my favourite colour, purple of course, and it's got so many colours in it and it's absolutely beautiful. It was stitched by Lisa Loves Stitching. She lives in Australia, and she sort of was second runner-up to a giveaway. And I thought, just 2 people for a giveaway, so I sent her something as well, and she made me this. And I talked about that, I guess, in my last floss tube, which you didn't hear about. So there was lots of information in there, and there's one piece of information I want to put in here. That's why I'm doing this floss tube. So this is the first part. So thank you, Lisa. I really love this, and today was the first day that I wore it because it's cold. It's cold. And I really love it. So then I would like to thank everybody who heard my Instagram story, saw my Instagram story and heard my appeal. I've got moths, the ones that eat clothes apparently, so they would eat cross stitch, fabric, floss, I don't know. I can't find the nests. I've killed so many moths, I can't find the nests. So I asked if people could send me lavender bags, and lots of people sent me stuff. So thank you to everybody who has. I've thanked them personally, I thanked them on Instagram, so you can go and look what they've sent me. Some people actually included needle minders and little kits and other stuff. I didn't expect that, I really didn't. I just wanted lavender bags or lavender to put out there, so my whole flat now is smelling of lavender. I think there's one person who's going to send me some, one more person, and I have these little bags all over, because that means that the moths, they hate this, so they go far away from lavender, which means they will not lay eggs. Moths, they lay eggs, and the eggs, they don't do much, they grow, and then they hatch, and whatever hatches there, I won't go into any details, but those are the ones that eat. Lucky for me, I haven't vacuumed in lots of spaces where I expect that probably these nests are, and they actually quite like hair and skin cells and dust, so I hope they'll go for that first before they go for my furniture, my clothes and my cross stitch. But getting the moths away is what I need to do, and it's already helping. So thank you to everybody who sent me something. I also, with one of those, I received this, my very first Christmas card. It's beautiful, it really is absolutely beautiful. It's from Anne P. Fibre Floss and Fiction on here, on Flosstube, and Little Bird Stitcher on Instagram. She also sent me some lovely stitchy kindness, so thank you very much. This is my first Christmas card, which now I have to remove my birthday cards, but they actually don't really hang up there. They're over there because my TV is there and I have them all displayed, so when I watch TV I see all my... Yes, my birthday was in September. I don't care. I have all my birthday cards that I can see every day, and now I'm going to put Christmas cards up. I like cards, so they can stay up as long as they like. And I've received my second Christmas card, and this one came from Down Under. This one came from Lisa. Yes, Lisa. She put out a Flosstube, I think yesterday, day before yesterday, where she sits on her veranda balcony and has the whole view behind her. So you should go and check it out. It's amazing, because we're going into winter, they're going into summer. And she talks about wildlife that they have. She moved house a few months ago, and they name all the wildlife that they have in the garden. So, and this is really fitting, because I can't imagine Christmas being warm, but this sort of gives me an idea. So thank you for that. And the last bit of cross stitch, sort of just that you know, I can show you the picture. I'm stitching on the Haid that I've got. It's the Gothic cross, and it's actually a normal size. When I bought it, I thought I was buying a mini. They don't actually have a mini of this. So yeah, it's a few more pages than I thought. But I don't actually mind. It's okay. It's my first Haid, and that's okay. And what you see here is I have page 1. I've finished page 2. There are a few ninja stitches missing in there, but because I'm going from this side over, you always have an overlap over the 2 pages, and the ninja stitches that are missing actually belong to the second page, which is this one. So that would be page 1, page 2, page 3 and page 4. So I'm actually doing pretty good, because this is the piece I'm working on for 90 days of full coverage, which really helps, because I really work on it every day, and even if it is just to put in 1 stitch, 10 stitches, 1 thread, whatever. Anyway, that was the cross stitch Flosstube part. Now to the part that I really wanted to get out there. I already did this in my previous Flosstube that didn't have sound, so I thought about a lot if I want to come back and film again. That's why I'm not doing a big Flosstube with showing the stitch of kindness that I got. I've done 2 secret stitches for Christmas. I'm doing another secret stitch for Christmas, a tiny one. I've stitched a bit on something else, but I'm not going to show that. I'm not going to do that because it's more important for me to get this information out now in November. And I think you'll realise why. Because, okay, it's about the electronic advance data. That doesn't say anything. It probably doesn't mean anything to you. Okay. So there is the Universal Postal Union, and I looked it up. Now they say here, that I got this from my post office because I go on a regular basis to the same post office. It's quite a big one. They all know me by now, and they know that I send out parcels to mainly the UK, the US, Australia, the Netherlands. Those are sort of my main areas, but I also send them worldwide. They told me at the beginning of the year that next year things will change, and that me just coming along with a parcel where I put on the sender and recipient address and a green form for the customs, that won't happen anymore. And so I've been asking since then, what's happening? Can I do something? What is it? And from June onwards, suddenly, from July onwards, suddenly my parcels that were going to the US, it just took about 20 minutes until everything was already on the package as I used to do it. But they typed the address in, they typed my address in again, they typed in all the information that I did for the customs, and they asked me questions about everything. And I was just standing there, I was going like, hey, all the information is there. And I said, yeah, sorry, but the US has already changed the system. And I said, what does that mean? And I said, yeah, well, we don't quite know, and it's all a bit fuzzy. And I just know that for the US, I have to put all this stuff in, send this to the US, and put a sticker on, and then I can send it off. I also had a package for, I think for the UK and one for the Netherlands, and there they just basically looked at it, and you wanted A post, B post, registered, tracking, whatever, and they were gone. And I was just standing there going like, what? So the next time I came along and I said, hey, I heard something's changing. Yeah, there's going to be changes, but we don't quite know, and whatever. I went again, I asked again, and I got the information. So there's a whole sheet of information. And you can download this probably, but I would advise you to go to your post office, your local post office, the one that you usually go to when you hand in a parcel, and ask them about what's changing. Because the change is going to happen on the 1st of the 1st of 2020. If you're sending something to the US, it already has changed, because the US could not wait. The US already has this going since the 1st of July. That's why she was typing in all the information. Okay, I'll start from what I call the beginning. There's the Universal Postal Union, which is, like it says, universal. It is, it's got its headquarters in Bern in Switzerland. That's just a detail, because the head of the postal service is from, I have no idea, I think South Africa somewhere. And then there's the International Post Corporation. Yeah. And they're changing their conditions for sending goods, consignments abroad. So I looked up the Universal Postal Union. I thought would be, maybe Europe and the US, of course, and maybe a few other countries. No, it's not. There's actually only a few little islands and tiny little states that are so small that you can't even find them on a world map without zooming in. Even the Vatican State is in a Universal Postal Union. So the whole map, the world map, is green. Everything that is green belongs to the Universal Postal Union. So that means everything in the US, Canada, Alaska, US, South America, Africa, South Africa, Europe, Iceland, Greenland, Scandinavia, Russia, China, India, Asia, whatever, Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania, Japan, the whole world belongs to the World Postal Union, Universal Postal Union. The International Postal Corporation only has 24 national postal services from major countries in Europe, Asia, Pacific and North America. But as they both are working together, that makes the whole world. So it means it all has like this really, I tried to highlight it and give you the information. So it would mean like consignment data and content information now needs to be entered electronically and sent to the country of destination in advance of shipping. Okay, what does that mean? Well, the Swiss Post provides free tools for advanced digitally entry of consignment data. If the data is entered at the counter, a processing fee will apply. That's Switzerland. So I don't know what that means for you. That's why I'm telling you, please go to your post office. And I'm telling you now, so please go to your post office, your local post office, the one where you usually hand in your packages, in November, and ask them and say you've heard of this electronic advance data. Something about the Universal Postal Union changing, something about parcels, something about mail, sending it internationally. And they will be able to give you something like this. They will tell you what your country is doing. It can be that you can just go and bring the parcel to the post office and they'll input the data and nothing will change. I doubt it. It says that you have to enter in advance of shipment. Because if you don't, then the other part, like if I send something to the US at the moment, they may refuse to accept my parcel. And they might send it back. They might put it in a bin. They might keep it for 2 years. You don't know. They tell me that the added value for the customer would be goods can be processed and cleared through customs more quickly. Harmonization of the corresponding address labels allow the consignment to be sorted automatically and faster. Bollocks. That's just trying to tell us, yeah, it's going to help us. No, it's not. Basically, what you need to do, what it means is, if you send something through the post office, if you send a piece of mail, now if you send a card, Christmas card, birthday card, something or other, you take the card, you write your message, you put this in an envelope and you send it. Fine, no problem. You do that as it was. I don't know if maybe the postage has gone up or whatever. That might be the only change. Now, if you do what Lisa did, Lisa sent me this card as a normal Christmas card. She got this card. She wrote a little message in there. She put a skein of floss in. Put this in an envelope. As soon as something is in the envelope that is not just a card or a piece of paper with a letter on it, this goes under the new law. So as soon as you put something in here that's not a card or letter, so if you put in here, if you put in a skein of floss, a needle minder, a tissue, Audrey, anything that is not a card or a letter, you need to fill out the form, and you should be able to fill it out on a laptop at home. Fill in all the data, so you fill in the recipient. If you have, they actually want the email address and the phone number, and then you fill in all your data, because the return address, and then you have to fill in what's in it, and you have to do it pretty detailed. Unfortunately, you can only add 3 items, so I just sent something off a few weeks ago, so I had to add 2 things to like 1 item, so it was chocolate and sweets, and then it asks like how heavy is it and what's the cost, so how much did I pay for it. Well, I'm just trying to put my stuff on there somehow, because I only can add 3 items. Before, it was on the green shipping label, I just put chocolate, sweets, whatever, and I didn't even put how much it weighs. So what you need to do, if you're sending to the US now, you already need to you should actually be doing it already. If you're sending to any of the other countries, you can get your Christmas stuff out now, except for the US, there you should actually already change it, but all the other states are okay. But from the 1st of the 1st, 2020, you'll have to input all this data first. I've done it for the US and for the UK and for the Netherlands, and it's quite a business, because usually I go and I get the presents ready, I get the letter or the card, and I write my letter in the card, put the card in an envelope, and then I start wrapping my presents, and I already write on the green form what I'm putting in and approximately what it's going to cost, what it costs me, but I always keep that quite down because I don't want to have the other person pay import tax, so I keep it very low. And I don't even weigh the stuff. I just put it in, and then I put it in a box, I close it up, I put on a green label, and I put on a label with the address or who it's going to and my return address. Well, now you have to actually weigh the stuff before. So up to 2 kilos, you just weigh like the chocolate, and then you write, first thing is chocolate. I have 2 bars, so it's 2. They weigh each 100 grams, and they cost maybe $2. Then I add that, and then I add the next thing, which might be, I don't know, floss, let's say, floss. So I would write floss, and then I will put it on there and say it weighs so and so many grams, it costs about so and so much, add that to it. Now, if you go over 2 kilograms, then it is considered a parcel, and then you have to fill out the other form, which is even longer and more complicated, and I haven't done that yet, and I just hope that I'm staying under 2 kilos for everything. If you have web stamp, and I've been using web stamp, then you can include that and include that on the form that you need. I don't do that. I prefer to go and hand it in and let them work out, because usually I'm standing there and I have to decide in the spur of the moment if I'm going to send it A post or B post. I don't send it registered mail or anything. I don't put anything on it because it's just too expensive. So I like to do that when I go there. But if you have webmail, you can put it on there. And what you do at the end is, when you're finished, you print out a shipping label that looks something like one of these. You've probably seen that before, because some people already do this. And the important bit of data is that you have this barcode. And you have the address it goes to. The sender address must be somewhere up here. That's probably my sender address. And on the side here is the goods that I've put in. And this is going to be your shipping label. Now, they want you to print it out on specific labels that they give you, and they are bloody expensive. You can print it out on a normal piece of paper like this. It'll print out in just the top thing there. You cut it out and you put it on with sellotape. And try and just, if you put it on with sellotape, try to keep the barcode empty. So if you use sellotape, you can go over the address like there and over the top thing. But try to leave the barcode open, because if they cannot read the barcode, then the whole thing is useless. So this is my public service announcement, so please check this out, because for me, sending parcels is extremely expensive, and I know that it's very expensive sending from the US to Switzerland, and going through this whole ordeal of having to input everything into my computer and logging it, and you actually have to send the information beforehand. I haven't seen that happen yet. I don't think it actually does yet in Switzerland. I hope that will happen soon. But I think now they just do it at the post office by scanning the barcode. It'll send the information to the US. So the US customs can already reply and say, hey, no, can't ship it, keep it. I don't know. At the moment, it says that the Swiss Post Office takes anything and sends it off. If you haven't done it right, then your parcel is probably lost. So if you have any questions about this and you can't get to your post office, or you want to ask me anything else, or I don't know, just considering that I know quite a lot about this now, I put the web address for the Universal Postal Union down below, so you can check out if your country is in it, because it probably is. If you're Australia, New Zealand, Japan, hi Rolodex. If you're the US, UK, the Netherlands, hi Amanda. If you're Spain, Italy, France, Germany, Austria, Russia, Scandinavia, hi Rita Marie, you're going to be affected. So please go to your post office before the Christmas rush starts, and it's going to start soon, when people still have the nerves to inform you how your parcels are going to be sent in future. So I hope this helped, and I hope that you can spread the word a bit, let other people know, maybe just point it out in your Flosstube that something's going to change at the post office. Maybe if you're not on Flosstube, put it in your Instagram feed, put it on Flosstube, on Facebook, put it out there. Please put it out there, because I know how it's going to be. At the beginning of next year, I'm going to walk into the post office totally forgetting that I should have done all of this, and they'll say, look, if you want us to enter all this data, you'll have to pay us something like £10. And then we'll enter the data, but you don't want us to do that, because you're going to pay $25 to send the parcel on top of all that. So I'm already now trying to get used to doing all of this, getting all my addresses into the system, because you can't import them. But yet, here in the Swiss system, I'm already now, but yeah. So it might be that next year I will only send out frack, which is anonymous, and sorry to all my friends out there who have been getting Stitchy Kindness from me. I don't know if that'll happen next year. Anyway, I don't know if I'll come on again before Christmas because there's a lot going on work-wise that I'm not happy about. There's other stuff going on and I can't promise anything. Maybe I'll be on Flosstube, maybe not, but I'll definitely be watching. I'm really behind. I know I'm behind. I've just watched Anne P's Flosstube from I think October, so I'm trying to catch up. I really am, but yeah, it's difficult because I want to watch everybody and that doesn't work. Anyway, so happy stitching everybody, and please inform yourself. Bye.